Charlie Kirk, who is obviously very upset that Zohran Mamdani has won the mayoral Democratic primary in New York City. So much so that he immediately took to Twitter after Mamdani's victory to say some of the most racist, vile, xenophobic, Islamophobic crap you've ever seen, saying how he can't believe that just 20 some odd years after 9/11, New York City would elect a Muslim. This is the grossest shit imaginable that, of course, never gets called out. But Mamdani shows some empathy for Palestinians, and all of a sudden you have every single media outlet declaring him anti-Semitic and asking him if he'll visit Israel and allow Israel to remain the one the Jewish state to exist. Here's Charlie Kirk on Zohran Mamdani.
Perfect example of so many different forces happening in our country. And it goes to show that our debate around immigration is not just about the southern border. Securing our southern border is very important, and President Trump deserves hero's praise on a repeated and daily basis for which he has been able to do on the southern border. No one is coming across the border. 0 is the only number that President Trump puts up with on the southern border. And he deserves so much praise for that and how quickly and effectively he's been able to do that. But let's be honest, everybody. That issue, as long as President Trump or J.D. Vance are president, that issue is settled and solved. This is not about a southern border issue. It's about deportations, but it's actually about something even more immediate. Mr. Zohran Kwame Mamdani, he came here legally, and now he is a U.S. citizen. Did we make the right choice? It's time for us to have an honest and open conversation about this. Was that a good move? Is this guy currently trying to make America better? Is he the best that we could possibly bring in? Zohran Kwame Mamdani. He wants to destroy New York City. He literally wants to defund the police. Every person that we naturalize as a citizen in this country should come with the question, does this person make America better or worse? And Mamdani is a perfect example of worse. Do we want more people in America named after African dictators? Well, you can't choose your name, but it should make you press pause. Is Mamdani assimilating? When he came to this country, is he assimilated to our values? He's trying to globalize the intifada. That's what he said. We need to globalize the intifada, which means to globalize terrorism. He wants to sanction the state of Israel. He said that he will arrest Netanyahu if he comes to New York for a UN.
That was the best policy I heard from
his mom says cut 47.
Yeah, can I just remind folks, and Brandon, if you can refresh there, we lost your video, but New Yorkers voted in this election. They knew all of this stuff, and they rewarded him for those positions, including when the International Criminal Court has a goddamn warrant out for war crimes. You don't just let that person traipse through your city like Eric Adams does. I'm so disgusted that Itamar Ben-Gvir was in my goddamn neighborhood this year. It is like one of the most sickening feelings I've had, that he just gets to clown around with his fascists as they beat up like women who are just passersby in the street. That is a menace, and we should have a mayor that is willing to stand up for it. And by the way, he also said the same thing. He would not honor Modi either because of his Gujarati background. So this is not a fixation on Israel. The person who's fixated on Israel is a guy like Charlie Kirk, who is willing to throw over all of the things that he described as truths several months ago, such as any strikes in Iran are a horrible idea. Well, now that Daddy Trump did it, Charlie Kirk comes running back, and his audience was not for those strikes. And so now how do you make up for the fact that you've been basically exposed as in the bag for Trump and Israel? Is you double down on being Islamophobic.
Right. It's amazing to, I mean, it's not shocking or anything. Of course they're going to go here. I mean, but this is some like really old school. Like this is what we saw in 2008 with Obama, the Barack Hussein Obama. They would always have to say his full name, extra oomph on the Hussein part. He's doing the same shit. Zohran Kwame Mamdani. Like, Who gives a shit? Everyone knows his full name. In fact, unlike Obama, Zohran is double downing on his full name because he's proud of it, like he should be. And he puts his full name, Zohran Kwame Mamdani, in his social media profiles for his name. Like, this is a guy that you're not surprising anyone with. This isn't a guy with some like a radical preacher's church that he went to back in the day and now he's trying to downplay it. No, this is a guy who stands by every single thing that Charlie Kirk is trying to hit him for, as if it's some sort of big shocking surprise to people. No, Zohran Kwame Mamdani ran on all of these issues and he won. And not only did he won with a mandate. So much so that Andrew Cuomo, the guy who thought he was going to fight for till the end for this race, doesn't even see a lane for himself anymore after the first round of ranked choice voting.
It's also funny that they're like, doing the Barack Hussein Obama thing again, because Barack Hussein Obama won that election.
Right. And he won re-election.
He's the most popular politician of our lifetime.
Exactly. So, like, I mean, that's not to say Islamophobia doesn't exist in our country. It's just to say that, like, this one is, you lost this one, guys. You lost this one. I know they're circling the drain on this one. They're crashing out pretty hard, but, like, it was a wash.
Yeah, I want to put up this tweet here. This is and get Mason's full tweet in there too. This is at One Hand Politics. Charlie Kirk basically got into this debate with Jessica Tarlov, who responded saying, "Charlie, this is so gross and Islamophobic. Take it down." And Charlie said, "Debate me on the merits. Just don't just throw out petty thought terminating cliches." Now, I want to talk to the young men particularly on this. The young men who talk about logical fallacies, put us all up, who think that they're getting some sort of logic mastery when they listen to someone like Charlie Kirk. As Mason points out here, debate me on the merits, you just equated a Muslim state legislator with Al-Qaeda. But there is a certain sort of type of young man that when they hear Charlie Kirk put out a vocabulary term like thought-terminating cliches, they're like, oh, he's actually got him there. No, a thought-terminating cliche is not pointing out that Charlie Kirk is a racist, because that's just true. The thought-terminating cliche is to say anybody who's standing up against Israel is a terror supporter. Like, that is your thought terminating cliche there. And Charlie Kirk relies on those exclusively. So, look, debate me on the merits. The merits are, Charlie, that you are paid to support whatever America and its vassal state, Israel, a client state / aircraft carrier, Israel, want. And you will do that. And one of the key ways this has always been done is through racism.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are no merits to his argument because his argument relies on the internalized Islamophobia of his audience to make any kind of sense, right? Peppered in with just like lies about the demographics of New York City. I can't remember if it was him or Matt Walsh who was like fear mongering over the fact that New York City is now like 40%-ish like immigrant or non-native New Yorker occupied. And it's like, it's always been that way, right? Like that's always been the demographic of New York City because it's the city of immigrants, the United States of America. So, I mean, these people are like struggling to cope with the reality that their brand of fear mongering, at least in this one particular instance, just didn't work. But I'm sure they will be using Zohran's name, like we've already seen, to like fundraise, to scare their elderly audience into sending them their rapidly dwindling Social Security. And, it'll work for that.
Right. They're going to go full on like, remember the last time we warned you about the Muslim from Africa? Well, we were lying then. He wasn't Muslim or from Africa. But now there is one. There's actually a Muslim from Africa.
This one's like, extra Muslim. He's instituting Islamo-communism in New York City.
Right.
Also, who has a large foreign-born population is Houston. Don't hear so much about that. And it's so funny when like people who are from like cities like Nashville or like St. Louis, cities with like frankly extremely high gun crime and violent crime rates, think that New York is unsafe. Bro, New York is very safe for how many people live here.
You know what other place has a really high foreign-born population? Israel.
Oh yeah.
Checkmate.
And then he's like, what Muslim country do you prefer to live in? Like, I don't want to live in a Jewish one either, Charlie. I don't want to live in ethno-states. Thanks. And I don't want to make this one either, unlike your, gummy ass.
Yeah, these are the guys always claiming this is a Christian nation, right? What
That
is
shit sucks.
right? Well, is there anything else worth listening to in that clip? Does he say anything else stupid?
We can
I'm
let
sure the
Charlie
whole
go a
thing
little
is.
bit more, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
75, quote, he is total desi completely. He's not Farangus at all. Again, this is all like Indian talk. He is very much
Indian talk? Oh
He's
my
not
God!
a
Wait, what?
This is what we were talking about this before, because it's like they don't know. Okay, should we go after him because of the Indian thing, the Africa thing, the socialist thing, the Muslim
He's
thing?
short-circuiting he's too many things.
It's a too target-rich environment. He's flooding the zone with all of his identities.
They can't even finish a sentence. That like the amount of racism that they're trying to process in their brains is like short-circuiting them. It's like it's overloading their CPU. Like they just can't handle it. Like he's like frothing and turning red. He just goes like, and he's African. He's Muslim. He's Muslim. He's African. Uganda and liberal, socialist. And I
can't believe he crashed out on seeing the word Desi. He actually crashed out. He was
wants
like,
to
Indian
feel-
stuff.
He's an Islamist who's also radically pro-gay and trans.
bro, it'll be
Completely.
all right. It's gonna be all right, bro. Just put on Kabi Kushi Kabi Gam, put on DDLJ. Dedicate the next 7 hours of your life to some of the best music you've ever experienced, some of the prettiest locations, prettiest people, and just let it happen. Like let Sharuk happen to you. Like it is fine.
He is total desi completely. He's not Farangus at all. Again, this is all like Indian talk. He is very much us. He's not American at all. He was born in Uganda, raised between India and America. He's at home in many places. He thinks of himself as a Ugandan, as an Indian. Nair told us during a recent visit to the capital. So he's Indian, not Western. Just fine. You have a right to be Indian. You're trying to be the mayor of America's largest city. I would like for you to be American.
Bro, you don't even go here.
Zohran derangement
Charlie-
syndrome.
Where does
He's
Charlie
definitely-
broadcast from?
Certainly not New York City. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, it is the America's greatest city. It's because your ass and people like you are fucking afraid of it. And stay the
Yeah.
fuck away.
Yeah, no,
Trying to run America's largest metropolis. It'd be good if you knew something about this place and you loved us. This is not like the mayor of...
Us. You get like Matt said, you don't go here. What do you mean
Yeah,
us?
bro.
In fact, I bet if you search Charlie Kirk's like social media history or look at the transcripts for all his podcasts, I'm sure Charlie Kirk has knocked the New York City, the liberal blue state, more so than anything Zohran has ever said about New York in even a critical way. Give me a break.
And also, he's been here since he was 7.
So according to Wikipedia, it seems like Charlie Kirk lives in like Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know if he's moved recently to New York City, but he lives, he lives in the heat dome. Like you got other things to worry about. Don't worry about how hot New York City politics are. Worry about how hot it literally is where you are. Just don't worry about it.
Keokuk, Iowa.
Cuck?
He's not
What?
the mayor of Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yeah, I don't care.
He's name dropping small
Front of-
cities, it sounds like.
Okay, cool.
America's largest metropolis. It'd be good if you knew something about this place and you loved us. This is not like the mayor of
Us.
Keokuk,
You are not us.
Iowa. He's not the mayor of Fort Collins, Colorado. And I hope you guys don't have Islamists running those cities.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you be fine if it was?
They should.
Is
We
the-
should-
Us running those cities. No, New York City is the beacon of the entire West.
You're right, Billy.
You think of America, you think of New York City. As John Lennon said, it is the center of the world.
As John Lennon said.
Not an American guy.
And they try to stop you from talking about this. Again, last night, someone tried to stop me from talking about this on Twitter. They said, oh, you're an Islamophobe. It's like, it's just thought-terminating cliche. And I have voted
Who taught him thought terminating cliche? That's so funny. No, it is just true because you're a psycho race fixated moron, Charlie.
for a Muslim
the
before-
all of the Republican like influencers got that term installed in the last like firmware update. They've been using it.
or Abe Hamid.
They really-
supported.
I was gonna say they really love to like take 9/11. This is what he's talking about. His disgusting 9/11 tweet. They really love to take it as if it's something like they experienced too, like Charlie Kirk in Phoenix, Arizona, however old he was on 9/11. Like he was under attack and he saw the smoke and he had family members or someone who his family knew anywhere in New York City and was worried about them. You are just like biting off of people who actually went through like a horrific experience and came out a better person than you even after they actually experienced it. And don't blame anyone who looks different from themselves on what happened that day. You learned nothing from this because you had nothing to do with it. So get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Me from talking to this on Twitter, they said, "Oh, you're an Islamophobe." It's like, it's just thought-terminating cliche. And I have voted for a Muslim before, Abe Hamadeh. I've supported Muslim Abe Hamadeh. I've endorsed Zuhdi Jasser. My primary care doctor is Muslim. It has nothing to do with that. I'm not even going to play that game.
You just did.
And I got in a dispute with Jessica Tarlov, if you guys know who that is. Whatever.
He's so mad.
He's so pissed.
And you guys can read my response. I thought my response was actually very good.
Well, yeah,
very thoughtful.
Oh, wow.
And I asked the question, what Western city, name it, has gotten better the more Islamic that it's become?
London.
And then one of the guys in the replies said, Doha. Okay, that's not a Western city. That is the capital of Qatar. Another guy said, well, Abu Dhabi is really nice. Again, that's in the Emirates. By the way, just so we know, Doha is getting less Muslim as they import more labor from Africa to go do the work of the ruling class of Qatar. Is London better? Is Paris better? Is Amsterdam better? Is Berlin better?
All these are great cities that none of Charlie Kirk's audience will go to because like barely any of them have passports. And it's like, yeah, fine, don't go to London. I very much enjoyed London, being there. You know who the problem with London and the problem with Paris is the rich people who pay for Charlie Kirk to talk shit online all day.
Also, the mayor of, I guess he's saying Amsterdam has become more Islamist, but I was like, the mayor of Amsterdam is not Islamic, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I think he just means like it's his replacement stuff. This is Europe's committing suicide by allowing refugees sort of stuff. This is people looking at demographics and being absolutely hysterical that there are less white people being born than brown people.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I think when things like this happen, we're also always talking about the psychosocial, yes, but also psychosexual obsession of the far right, in the sense that seeing a brown person take a position of power just makes them and the people who watch their content feel less valuable. It makes them feel like, well, I'm not the mayor of New York. I'm not doing this. Like, how does this implicate me? And so, like, that kind of white grievance politics is, deeply ingrained in the kind of content that Charlie Kirk is pushing onto his audience, and then also obviously he's just afraid for the same reason a lot of people in political media are afraid, because he knows these things are going to be successful and popular. He knows that he's successful and popular, and ideologically we're opposed.
Better as any one of these places in Europe, and it's not a matter of being racist. It's not. All that stuff is dumb. I don't do that. This is not 2015. Your little weird voodoo mind trick doesn't work anymore. You think this little mentalist
No, it's going to work, Charlie.
Where they come up to you and they could just say like a bunch of magic words. It's like the Harry Potter thing.
He is melting down.
They could just kind of do a little magic.
Expecto racismo.
Warped. They're like paralyzed. It doesn't work that way anymore. Ooh, you're an Islamophobe.
You're paralyzed in a different way. You can't stop talking about it because you're so fucking messed up because she called you out for being racist. Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm not paralyzed. Yeah, you're not paralyzed. Like, you're not like Wile E. Coyote watching the train come to hit you. You keep rambling and rambling and rambling about it because you can't get it out of your mind.
He's paralyzed by his own racism. Like, right. I know that racism and bigotry is not a mental illness, but certainly some people on the right have turned it into one for themselves. Like he's having this incredibly emotional freak out about, he's not even the mayor yet, guys. That's the real sign that this is going to only get worse. Like, he's not even the mayor yet. He didn't even win the general election, and they're already acting like this. Good. I mean, they're right to be upset. They're right to be hysterical. I think if anything, they should be more upset.
It doesn't work that way anymore. Ooh, you're an Islamophobe. Okay, I'll stop talking. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, Trump destroyed that entire paradigm. Thank you, Donald Trump.
Okay.
I kind of disagree, and we'll stop it there. But I think Trump may have actually. I think wokeness is if in Charlie Kirk's terminology. This whole like, oh, we actually don't like racism. I think that stuff is going to come back, Charlie. I think it is going to arise for the same reason it arose the first time, which is that when the American people see the Republicans in power, beyond just them saying, "Oh, Democrats can't do anything," which is true, they see the like heinous bigotry and react negatively to it.
Oh, for sure. More people are going to be canceled under Donald Trump's presidencies than were ever canceled under Joe Biden or Barack Obama, for sure. Because the right wing is, incredibly emotional and incredibly sensitive, and they're the ones who mostly lead these witch hunts, and they're going to start eating each other, especially over this schism that's arising over Iran, over Israel, over, who's being funded by whom.
Yeah, here's the clip on Modi. Oh crap, this isn't the full one. Never mind. Actually, before I get to that, here is actually a different clip. This is you guys familiar with Avalon Emerson? She's an electronic musician who I've liked for a while. Got great stuff. I like her a lot more now that she did a sort of remix of the moment that Zohran Kwame Mamdani called out Cuomo for mispronouncing his name, and she posted this to her Instagram. This is a quote tweet of Jeremy Flood _Floodlight on Twitter.
To Mr. Cuomo, I have never had to resign in disgrace. I have never cut Medicaid. I have never stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA. I have never hounded the 13 women who credibly accused me of sexual harassment. I have never sued for their gynecological records, and I have never done those things because I am not you, Mr. Cuomo. And furthermore, the name is Mamdani. Mamdani. You should learn how to say it.
God. Wow. That's great. That's awesome.
No, that's great. That's great. That was a great moment too. I love how he dragged his name through the mud.
I agree. I think it's an important one. Like, I think when when people say, and I think it's probably a little bit reductive that Bernie didn't have sort of the killer instinct when he ran against the Democrats, but he never did anything quite like that. Where you go at the heart of the credibility of the person that you're up against, and in part because Bernie's a team player, and whatever. But I think you do need to do this in order to signal to the wider voting public that you're serious and you're not going to pull a punch here. Here's the thing I was talking about. He was at a mayoral candidate sort of get together with Brad Lander here, and there was a question about Narendra Modi, and I think this is an extremely just good answer, and this is a guy who understands world politics really well.
President Narendra Modi, and this will go to you first.
Come on.
Narendra of India.
I was supposed to get Netanyahu, and he was supposed to get Modi. Didn't you even get the memo?
You all get all of them. So
Modi is holding a rally in Madison Square Garden. He wants to hold a joint press conference with you afterwards, reaffirming the strong bond between India and New York. Do you agree to the event?
No.
All right, Mr. Stringer?
No.
And Mr. Mamdani?
No, and I just want to say something here, which is that my father, his family comes from Gujarat in India, and his family is Muslim, I'm Muslim. And Narendra Modi helped to orchestrate what was a mass slaughter of Muslims in Gujarat, to the extent that we don't even believe there are Gujarati Muslims anymore. And when I tell someone that I am, it's a shock to them that is even the case. And this is someone who we should view in the same manner that we do Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a war criminal.
That's good.
Yeah.
Why does he hate
And I
Israel so much?
guarantee you, most people who's unlike Netanyahu, this is just how it is. A lot of people in the U.S. are probably unfamiliar with Modi and India's political landscape, and they will walk away learning the baseline stuff from that conversation with that Mamdani had on that stage.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I think it's hard for a lot of Americans to come to terms with the fact that, a lot of the people you see shaking hands with the president are like war criminals, guilty of human rights violations. I would say, most, if not all of them are, but sometimes they meet with like, I don't know, a tribal chief from like a smaller countries, and so it doesn't happen all the time technically, but like seeing Trump shake hands with Mohammed bin Salman, seeing them sit down with Modi, seeing them sit down with Netanyahu, that should not like engender a sense of trust in that other person. It should make you distrust our president even more.
100%.
Yeah. All right, folks, it's already 2:45. Let me read some IMs, and that's the show. Let's see. Any thoughts on Bernie on Joe Rogan recently? Asks Bingo Dango. I saw it.
Yeah, we'll do a clip tomorrow of Bernie and Joe talking about climate change, and you'll be shocked that Joe didn't have all the facts that he claimed to have at his disposal.
Right. Tom Cotton's beard says the right wing and lib freak out alone makes Zohran winning the primary worth it. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the right this racist in a while. I mean, they're always very racist, but this is like hyper drive racism. It's been a while.
Nightmare.
I'm actually concerned for their health. They're so racist right now. I'm concerned that like you're going to see a lot of like hogs like making those like front facing, vertical camera videos in their cars, and they're going to be halfway through like mispronouncing Zohran's name, and then they're going to grab their chest, and their face is going to turn all red, and it's going to like collapse. And I think that's just going to be like. It's sad. It's sad. Right. Racism.
Zohran Mamdani is going to cause a lot of right wing aneurysms. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.